In late 2019, an account that was supposed to be silent appeared online again. No announcement had been made, no one had access to it, and its owner had not been heard from in months. Yet the platform showed activity. A timestamp updated. A status light turned green. A single interaction appeared in someone's notification feed. At first it looked like a glitch, but when it happened again, the question became harder to ignore. How does an account stay active when the person behind it is gone? Before anything strange happened, the account followed a predictable rhythm. The owner posted weekly updates, commented on tech forums, shared photography, and responded quickly to direct messages. Across platforms like Reddit and Facebook, his presence was consistent and measurable. Friends could tell when he was online. They knew his habits. They recognized his tone. That predictability is what made the silence noticeable. The final verified message was simple and ordinary. It referenced an upcoming project and mentioned being busy for a few days. There was no hint of distress, no farewell tone, and no unusual wording. After that, replies stopped. Direct messages went unanswered. Calls were not returned. What initially felt like a short break began stretching into something heavier. Weeks passed. Friends contacted family. Family contacted local authorities. There were no public alerts, no official statements, and no clear explanation. His apartment showed no obvious signs of struggle, but he wasn't there. Devices were missing. Some personal items remained. The physical world offered no answers, but the digital world remained untouched. His accounts stayed online. Several months later, someone noticed his profile picture refreshed in their feed. It wasn't new, but it appeared at the top of their notifications as if recently interacted with. Then, a status indicator briefly showed him as active. The moment passed quickly, but it was enough to spark confusion. A screenshot was taken. Others began watching more closely. Soon, subtle changes appeared in the account's metadata. Login indicators updated. Privacy settings showed minor alterations. A "last active" label changed by a few minutes. None of these actions were visible as new posts or messages, but they were detectable to those monitoring carefully. The activity was inconsistent. Sometimes nothing happened for weeks. Then, suddenly, the account would register movement again. People began searching for logical answers. Could background applications on an old device still be syncing data? Could cached sessions reconnect automatically? On platforms like Facebook, delayed sync events sometimes trigger login timestamps without user interaction. On Reddit, certain automated processes can refresh session tokens. These explanations made sense in theory, but none fully accounted for the irregular timing patterns observed. Those closest to him described the experience as unsettling rather than frightening. One friend compared it to hearing a phone vibrate in another room long after the owner had left. Another said it felt like digital grief, where the internet refused to acknowledge absence. Instead of closure, there was ambiguity. The account appeared alive just enough to reopen uncertainty. A small group began logging every visible change. They recorded timestamps, compared screenshots, and checked activity indicators daily. They debated whether someone had accessed the credentials or whether automated behavior was misinterpreted as human presence. Weeks of monitoring revealed no messages sent, no posts written, and no direct engagement beyond system-level signals. Requests for clarification from the platforms resulted in general statements about cached data and background sync processes. No specific confirmation was given. Privacy policies prevented detailed answers. Without access to internal logs, observers were left interpreting surface-level indicators. Eventually, the unexplained activity slowed. Over time, the account stopped registering new updates. It remains online today, frozen at its last visible state. Photos are still viewable. Comments remain archived. The final post is still there. When someone disappears, their physical presence can vanish quickly, but their digital presence lingers. Accounts do not close themselves. Status lights may flicker long after conversation ends. In this case, whether the activity was automated, delayed, or something else entirely, it left behind a reminder that online identities don't follow the same rules as human lives. Last time, we followed a website that wouldn't fully die. This time, we watched an account that seemed to outlive its owner. Next time, we'll examine the market that died twice. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more true stories from Last Seen Online.